trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Especially white people.
If you didn't know, Netflix, they come out with a lot of original movies, stuff like that. Their newest one is getting a lot of attention, not just because it's got a pretty well-known cast. You got Ethan Hawke, you've got Mahershala Ali, you've got Julia Roberts, but also the people who are behind the production of this movie. And of course, that's Barack and Michelle Obama. They've done some documentary stuff like that. This is their first fiction story. It's an adaptation from a book. Barack Obama's Leave the World Behind role explained how the former president influenced Netflix's new movie. Apparently gave extensive notes on this thing. Right now, even though it kind of shot up Netflix charts when it debuted, not being received super well. 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thanks, Obama.
And it might be because of some of the subject matter. So this takes place kind of an apocalypse scenario. The world's kind of crumbling. People don't know what to do. And two families are trying to rely on each other to survive. One of them's a black family. One of them's a white family. So you know that racism was going to come up. And that's one of the reasons there's some backlash. Obama faces backlash for films warning about white people. Imagine, Jay, if we reversed these races, if we reversed these roles, what would happen?
It's a way to own the libs.
Barack and Michelle Obama executive produced and gave major feedback on the script and had a lot of notes about characters in Netflix Leave the World Behind. And this racist line is included. Trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
You don't want to be like this.
Even Mom would agree with me.
This is disgusting.
There you go. Now, this is his daughter in this, Mahershala Ali's daughter, who's lecturing him about not trusting white people. And of course, Julia Roberts' character, very overtly questions whether a black family can afford this type of house, shit like that.
Something is happening, and I don't trust them.
As we moved in, white folks moved out because they were afraid of what our families represented.
But you just can't escape it. Netflix is going to Netflix, especially when you've got Obama, whose entire reason for his production company is to talk about racial discrimination and disparity and stuff like that.
You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
And then you put something like this in your movie.
It's good to see a former president really doing their best to try and unite the country that elected him president. That's such a wonderful thing that he's doing here.
The great uniter, right?
Yeah, it's totally disgusting. And I'm telling you, man, we're getting to this point where this stuff is just becoming more of laughable.
Barack Obama is the Sharknado of presidents.
People are not going to just stand for it anymore. It's you just can't, I don't even know what the point of them putting it in. Just to keep everybody divided or whatever. You are correct, sir. The progressive, I don't want to get on a political thing because I get all aggravated, but the progressive left just does everything in their power to destroy any type of unity, any type of creativity, anything. And they throw lines like this in the film because if people like me or you or someone just says, I don't like this movie, it's well, maybe because it triggered you because you're a racist. And that's just all they do. These people pass the blame. They throw out stupid stuff like this.
What do you mean, you people?
And it does nothing but hurt and harm and try to make people feel like white guilt, white shame, or whatever it is.
That y'all are born into a life to not be, and that's what y'all are taught to do, to be.
What you're watching is not a political movement, it's evil.
I don't know, I don't know what the end game is to constantly do that, to think that they have some kind of control or power or whatever. They definitely are finding a small audience for whatever reason that will just cheer them on for that. But yeah, if you held the highest office in the world for 8 years, and this is where you want to do, this is what you want to do with your leg, this is what you want to do, you just want to come out and just shame a demographic of people. It's truly disgusting.
Disgusting.
At this point, just keep going, man. Just come out and make an entire film we hate white people.
Dear white people, please stop touching my hair.
I mean, you might as well just do it. What's stopping you at this point? You've already thrown in little subtle things. You already, everything that you do, it's just you talk about how much you hate cops. You talk about how much you love the LGBTQ, how much you hate white people. Just go all out and do it.
Black people can't be racist.
You might as well. and just see how that works out for you. Sorry, I don't either.
Imagine the perception, right? Imagine the perception imagine what the perception would be if Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke were sitting there in bed and Julia Roberts is like, hey, don't remember, we can't trust anyone, especially black people.
First of all, they're lazy good.
Right? Think of how that would be perceived. Not just like, of course, there might be some people that are very upset with that on like social media, but in terms of how it would be played off in the movie itself. In the movie itself, this isn't portrayed as something like totally terrible. Why would someone say something? It would be that way if they did that in the movie.
Weird.
Complete double standards, apparently. Not getting good ratings right now, even though people are watching it, but not getting good fan feedback as of right now. Might have a little something to do with the, hey, don't trust white people line. Who knows?
It's Hollywood, baby.
Especially white people.